Hello guys, welcome back to Gist with Stella. Our topic for today is going to be centered on King David. Mostly the part where most of us always say, even King David killed Uriah and take his wife Bathsheba. Yes, let's talk about that. We always talk about how King David killed somebody's husband and take his wife. So we don't often talk about the punishment that King David received after that decision that he took. Let's talk about that. We all know about King David and how God is still pleased in dates with King David in past. We all know about how God blessed King David and everything. So, but we've not often don't talk about this decision that King David took that cost him a lot. We don't talk about that most times. So let's talk about it today. Come, let's just with Stella. You can leave your comment. Let us have iteration. Let us iterate about this very episode. This takes me. So we all know the story. So the story begins now that David saw a beautiful lady that was taking a bath, and David lost of the flesh into this lady, and David started plotting. And when King David finally have his way with the lady, and the lady got pregnant, and David started plotting and plotting how to make the husband Uriah sleep with the wife. The Uriah is a battle man. He go to battle with King David. David try everything, make the guy drunk, everything. Unfortunately, all the plan that King David tried to do for the husband to just sleep with the wife, none of them worked. So David went to motion part two, so which is put him on the battlefield in the front of the field so that the guy would buy. So yeah, David did all this in the midst of all this plan. If you remember, if you read the Bible mostly for first Psalm, second Psalm, David always go to the Lord and ask the Lord, please, should I go after them? Should I run? Should I do this? The God will say, go, stay, all this kind of stuff. But if you notice, in the midst of all this plan, all this thing that David was doing, there was no part that said that David prayed or David asked the Lord. Even when he has tried the first plan to make the husband Uriah sleep with Bathsheba did not work, he did not ask the Lord. So he went further to make sure that Uriah go sorry Uriah, yes, Uriah is the front of the field. He even make a decision with the commander that to lead the battle to make sure that he put him in the front of the battle so that he can fight. So he did that, everything. He didn't ask the Lord. So if he finally succeeded with his mission, yeah, and like finally this woman will not be my wife. Went to bed and sleep. Unfortunately for him, we forgot that even God is pleased with him, but this very one, he did not even ask the Lord. God was not pleased with it too at all. I think the next following day, when he woke up, God sent prophets to him, but I can't really remember the name of the prophets now. Right now, God sent a prophet to him to tell him exactly everything that he had did. But the prophet did not just say it like the prophet went through parable, how a mother have everything, take one thing that somebody's have everything. Well, after the prophet finished, David understood that yes, time to reach to receive punishment. David understood that. And the prophet told him that your house is going to be on commotion, your son is going to die, this, that, everything. So when the prophet left, the Bible said that David went in the mood of mourning. David was praying, like what we always do after we're making a decision that does not please the Lord, all the things that we can always take our decision, but we can never choose the punishment. When the punishment is coming, we start praying, fasting. When his son starts getting sick, David was praying, fasting. He didn't eat, he didn't do anything. He was wearing tattered clothes. He made sure, as in David was sober. But all the sober and everything, the son still died. Then the Bible said that after the son died, David now wore fine clothes. The king's man was not surprised. When your son was sick, we were begging you to eat, we were doing. He said, and he understood that God's let will of the Lord be done, because this one is not what he can change. This one is what he has caused on himself. That did not end there. After that one, the son died, and insects commit in his own home. After that insect commit, then one of the son killed the other one. In fact, it was so lot of commotion in David's home. One of the sons killed the other one, and one other one fled to another city. It didn't end there. Then after, if you keep reading that second Samuel, keep reading that, then there's a part where after a couple of years, later, he has forgiven the son and everything. The son was like, you want to come back home. Like, okay, come, you know, send another prophet to come and talk to King David that I want to come back home. King David said, okay, come back home. Then after the son come back home, the son did not just come back home. The son came home and start mobilizing. Before he even came, I think you have to set somebody's farm on fire to make sure that the prophet go to David to make David bring him home. After all those commotion, just for him to get home, he now start mobilizing all the king's men. How like start telling them that they should go and make it noise that he is the next king. Da da da. He mobilized Shah. The king's men follow him, and it didn't even end there. Then he start after the head of his father, King David. Absalom. Absalom went for King David's head. King David could not even handle his own son. King David had to fled, had to run. This is King David that God is with too. In the midst of all this, God is still with King David. Don't get it wrong. God is still with King David, but King David understood that this punishment, he caused it on himself, and he's ready to receive the punishment. So he didn't even quarrel God at all. He was just going through the tribulation, the trial, because he caused it upon himself. So his son Absalom mobilized, was going after King David. Said that did not even end there. Then there is a prophet that King David respects a lot, because when the prophet speak, it's like he's hearing for God. The advice always go through. He asks David to do anything. When he do, everything goes well. And the prophet, what's his name again? Ahithophel. Ahithophel now follow Absalom. That's when David now said, hey, my own has finished. Hey, if Ahithophel follow Absalom, he gave up already. So in the midst of him running, he now prayed the prayer that God should turn the counsel of Ahithophel to foolishness. And God answered David's prayer. Like I said, God is still with David. Even if he's receiving his punishment, he's still with David. David now fled out of his own kingdom. Hey God, can you imagine how a king leave his own kingdom, now was now going to a different city? But he still have some of the king's men that follow him, his warrior that still follow him. They now left the city, was not leaving the city. And the prophets, the prophet Ahithophel went with Absalom. And after David prayed that prayer, then I think David now sent another prophet to go to go to Absalom's place to encounter anything that Ahithophel said to Absalom. You see, David is still wise, still has this. So when that happened, so Ahithophel, well, I think we all know the story of how Ahithophel was advising Absalom. The first advice was to go sleep with David, left concubine, that he fled and left. He did that. That was the wrong advice. So King, all the like two or three advice that he gave did not go through. So Ahithophel ended up killing himself because he seemed himself like nobody was taking him. That we're not talking about Ahithophel. We're just talking about, let's focus on King David. So King David fled. Even when he was fleeing, the city was going to. Then one cousin of Saul was now insulting him, blah blah blah, cursing him. Yeah, but one of his warriors want to go kill him. Then he said, no, even my own son is after my head. What do you expect from this? David understood that this calamity, this trouble, that is God that is dealing with, giving him bad news. So if we read all that together, I think there's a part that later God forgive him. It now went back to his kingdom, because later Ahithophel, no, later Absalom later died. Then the Israelite, the community, like they need king. So David now came back, but in the midst of the decision that David took, without require the Lord and taking what does not belong to him, God gave him his punishment. So even we, What have, we'll say that to say that. To say we'll say that story to say that even King David, that God is pleased with, that is the favorite of God, God know how to punish him when he messed up. What about we? Or we'll take sometimes we'll make some decision. We can always make our decision. We cannot choose our consequences. So as we go through this life, we should just try. None of us is perfect. We're learning every day. David always seek the Lord for everything, but when it comes to that decision of the flesh, he did never seek the Lord. So in everything we do, I'll say, let's seek the Lord, face of the Lord first. And when we seek him, we'll find him, and he always directs. David did not. That's a mistake number one. And number two, was to stop lusting after the flesh. Leave people things alone. Ah, wait. I pray that as we continue this journey of life, this journey of just Stella, we're learning every day. So this is just a part of King David. There's a lot of many King David. Don't worry. As we continue this journey, I pray that we'll be learning with each other. And welcome to Jesus Stella This where I leave you for the now.